Albert, here we are at Go Racing headquarters for our weekly update.
It's nice to change locations again, isn't it?
We're just all around the countryside, aren't we?
Keep people on their toes and just show them a different background and see what they can pick up this week, because we get interesting feedback. We've had cats, we've had handcuffs, and so we'll see what comes up this week in the background.
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully it'll just go smoothly.
Do you think?
As smooth as Mighty Solomon's Run.
Ooh, that was good. That was good. Yeah, he was impressive. Very impressive.
Very impressive.
He's got an explosive turn of foot. Very strong field. Jonathan Riddell was going to ride him a little bit further back, but he got in the gates and had to be in there for so long. He just changed his mind in the gates, which good jockeys can do. And man, the last 200 metres he was explosive, wasn't he? Bounded away.
Yeah, and you've had a bit of interest. Phones ringing hot.
Yeah, there's been calls from a few agents for him asking if he's for sale. I've asked him to put a price on his head, but we've had nothing firm yet, so there's nothing to go to the syndicate with at this stage. But as with all of our horses, if there's any offers, any firm offers, we do go to the syndicate. I think the biggest surprise last week was the price he paid. We tipped him out last week, didn't we? We said he was our best runner for the week, and he paid $8.90 and $3.30, and I think that either means no one's watching this, so no one tipped, no one saw him, or the people that did made a lot of money. But he'll work towards the Group 1 Thornton Mile in January, and I think he's up to group class easily.
Yeah, if that runs anything to go by, for sure. And let's talk about Prince Mambo, because it was just a bit short for him.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know if it was. He ran 1:21.31. They ran fast in the Group 3 sprinters on the day, so it was a very fast run. I think it's more a case of he's actually looking for further. He just took a while to wind up in the straight because he's looking for a mile, and when he did, man, he hit the line hard. He was, half ahead from winning the Hawke's Bay Guineas prestigious race.
Huge race.
Yeah, huge race. Isn't it funny, like last week we said about Opie Bosson, and we said we hope you go ready out for the winner, but not one of our races, and he won it by half a head.
So people should be listening, because we're getting it right, aren't we?
Yeah, we have so far. We've been good so far. See if we can increase the numbers again this week. But he's on target for the 2,000 Guineas. He'll have one more run in the Annie Sarton over 1,400 in 2 weeks' time, which will be too short for him. And in that race he'll get back, and he probably can't win it. But we want him going into the 2,000 Guineas on the 8th of November at his first start over a mile. And we've got he and Passing Shot, 2 live chances in the biggest race in the spring for 3-year-olds, and we're rapt about that.
And is there anyone else we need to talk about from last week?
Yeah, probably just a couple of little notes. Mount Difficulty got into a lot of difficulty and didn't get out till late, but his closing sectional for 6 was excellent. He drops back to 65 grade, and I think he's one that should definitely follow next start. And no luck on Sunday, Not Afraid. She twisted a plate on the way to the races, and then again in the running. She was so sore that she couldn't get out of the bird cage back to the stall, and they had to get the farrier to take her shoe off in the bird cage. So I think you could put a line through her run and follow her next start, and she'll probably be paying 20s or 30s.
Women in their shoes.
Yes, and she's out of a mare called Goody Two Shoes.
And this week, 4 runners on Saturday.
Yeah, 4 runners on Saturday. Some exciting horses. 3 at Egmont. I think we still call it Egmont. Do we call it?
I don't know if we do.
Yeah, Taranaki, but anyway, it's called Egmont. And one at Matamata. Where should we go first?
Let's start with the Zanotti.
Zanotti at Matamata. Yeah, she missed a start last Friday. She didn't get it off the ballot, so she runs this week at Matamata. 65 mile. She's very consistent. 3/3. Gets a nice barrow draw of 8. She's won on the course before. We put the side winkers on, which will help her focus a bit more. And she'll run well. Danielle Johnson, who's on fire, rides her. Not literally on fire, but I think she's just about top of the premiership now. All the jockeys have said she needs a better track, and it's about a slow 7 up there. That's probably the one question mark. Would like to get into dead range, but she'll be very competitive, and she should run a good race.
Okay, and now to Egmont, North and South.
Yeah, north and south scratched last week because the track came good, didn't get any rain. Same issue this week. Her work's been super during the week. She's an 85 1400, carries 58 kilos. She's got a reasonable barrier draw, good barrier draw, but for her it doesn't matter. She's going to get back behind midfield. Like, it just comes down to track conditions. If rain comes, and I don't think it will, she'll be an excellent chance. If the rain doesn't come, it's a good 3. She'll be scratched, and we'll wait and give her one more chance into the month before she goes to the paddock.
And Charlestown's Fresh Up.
Yeah, and he's a good horse, isn't he? You know, people forget how good he is. He ran in a Crack a Million. You know, he was second in a Group 2 as a 2-year-old. Let me just get rid of that. The wonders of modern racing. And what we do is we just do that and it's gone. No, it's not. We do that and it's gone. We knew something would come up this week, and it's the phone.
Yep.
So, Charlestown, Group 2, I'm going to keep going, not miss a beat.
No, and you didn't.
Second in a Group 2, then he was third and listed in Group 3 race last year. He's a very talented horse, very, very underrated, but he does need a run to get going. He always needs his first up run. He's in a 75 1200. Kelly Miles on board. She gets on with him really well. His coat hasn't quite turned. He will need this run. He'll get midfield. His class may take him close, but I suspect more than anything he'll look likely then peak on his run, and he's a horse to follow at his next start. That's my gut feeling, and we'll see if I'm wrong and if his class carries him further. But yeah, definitely a horse that needs his first run back.
And Thorn Pass stepping up.
Thorn Pass, yes, he's stepping up in distance. He's going to 1400 metres. His first start was in 75 grade over 1200 metres, the race that Mighty Solomon won. He got held up and his run was actually pretty good. He drops back in grade to rating 65 grade, and he's miles better than a rating 65 horse. 1400 metres suits. He's got a good barrier draw of 3. He'll settle midfield, hopefully, with a little bit of cover. 59 kilos is a lot of weight, but shouldn't worry him, and he is our best bet for the weekend. He's our best chance.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, let's see if we can get 890 and 330 again.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
What he will improve, he will improve, and he is a stayer, and he'll get better as he gets over more ground, but he can win on Saturday.
Isn't this spring racing exciting?
Yeah, it's great. I love this time of the year. Yeah, Caulfield Guineas this week, Caulfield Cup next week. You know, the better horses come out. It's great racing. You can just sit in front of TV all day. If I was allowed to, I would.
You're not.
But I'm not.
And speaking of lazy buggers, Matt, have we heard from him?
I've heard from Matt. Matt is on the Gold Coast.
Is he coming back?
I'm not sure. He said he'd found a bar with a TAB in it, and the barmaids were all in bikinis, and he said Megan had allowed him to go into it and drink and gamble for an afternoon. So I don't know if we'll get him back from the GC.
We may have lost him.
He might be on that show next year. But hopefully he will come back. Hopefully he'll be back. He'll be back next week. But hopefully we can not promote him to presenter again. We can keep you on.
I can relinquish the reins.
I don't know if people want you to.
Well, we could do it. You know, the viewers can decide.
That's true. Now you're waffling.
I am. So thank you, Albert.
No, thank you, Melissa. Caulfield Guineas this week. I just close with saying, rich enough. I don't think they can beat him. I know he'll be short, but I think he's the bet in Australia this week.
Thanks very much.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.